So, OnePlus, they have decided to create a separate Instagram for the new beginning. Now, I've been recently using my OnePlus 7 Pro as one of my main devices. For some reason, I've fallen back for this phone. I don't know. I bought 3 of these. I bought it at launch. Didn't feel it was worth it at the time. Bought another one. And this is 7 Pro. Bought another one. The microphones went bad or something like that. Then bought it a third time, and then it worked perfectly fine. But I just lost interest, so I just decided I'm going to sell it off, and the value still isn't there yet for me. Then I bought the McLaren. Something went wrong with that phone, the 5G. There was something wrong with my hardware. Decided not to go back to it. And then here we are, fast forward to 2020. I'm actually kind of loving the OnePlus 7 Pro. It's still on the bigger side for my taste, so I have to keep a OnePlus 7T around. Yes, I have a OnePlus 7T again. So I bought the OnePlus 8, to catch you up to speed here. Bought the OnePlus 8 with every intentions on buying the 8 Pro. And then after experiencing the 8, I thought the 7, this is the way to go. The 7 Pro is a hot value right now. You're getting the Snapdragon 855, and then the 7T is a really good value too, because you're getting this at 855 plus, and it costs $500. And then I got the unlocked version. I didn't get the T-Mobile version. The T-Mobile version of this phone is only $450, I believe. But I didn't want to deal with T-Mobile like bloatware and stuff like that. I dealt with it on the 7T, and I don't want to do it again. So I went ahead and purchased the unlocked directly from OnePlus when they had them in stock. And so they might still have some in stock. They have the almond, the blue, and this is the mirror gray, obviously, with the skin on the back. But I felt like after having the 8, it wasn't worth it. And so therefore, I know if the 8 isn't worth it, the Pro probably is not gonna, I'm probably gonna feel it's not worth it either. So I thought, I'm not spending $1,000 on this phone. Screw it. I'll go ahead and get the 7 Pro. And some of you guys will say, oh, Jay, you don't have this, you don't have that, you don't have this 120, blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm perfectly fine with the way this phone is running. Which leads me to my next point. OnePlus has decided to really try to shake up the industry. And they've been, if you don't know, he's been sending out messages here and there on OnePlus forums and OnePlus, it's all over the place. And he finally decided to create this OnePlus Instagram talking about, hey, a new beginning, official. It's labeled OnePlus Lite Z thing. And he's been kind of hitting around and doing this kind of stuff. So that's cool. But my thing is, OnePlus is definitely onto something. I'm just now genuinely kind of falling for, because if you don't know my history of OnePlus, I've liked every device ultimately. But my favorite OnePlus is the OnePlus 3T. I think that was the best hardware, the best looking. It was just a great phone to me. I really enjoyed it. So this direction that they're going in with the current OnePlus devices, they're expensive. They've been out of stock in a lot of places. I don't know if it's been like that because they knew they wouldn't sell a bunch of them or they didn't make a lot. I don't know. But I can tell you one thing. This new OnePlus device that they're teasing about, and if you go to their Instagram and try to follow, they'll give you a follow because they like that mystery. Like I said, they have over 32,000 people following them right now, and he just created the post, the account. So this new direction that OnePlus is probably going to go in, I think they're really going to try to tackle and take over what Google should have done a long time ago. If we're being 100%, Google's pricing is the only thing that hurt them with the Pixels in the end overall, because OnePlus cameras have never been that great, and that's been like the downfall for them, for me, since they've been doing all these newer devices. And that is the reason that I got rid of the OnePlus 8, and when I went backwards, if you want to call it backwards, I think it's a step in the right direction for what I do in getting the 7 Pro. It's just half the cost. Ultimately, almost half the cost. It was just above half the cost of the 8, and I think this is the way to go. I don't think that the 8 Pro and the 8 are doing as well as people try to make it out to be. Or I don't think people like them as much as people try to make it out to be. You'll see a lot of people in love with it because they were possibly given to them. That does affect some people. But when I bought it, the only thing that I didn't like about the 8 was the cameras. And you know, in specific the video recording, I thought it was horrible, and some of the photos were bad. And when I compared them to the 7 Pro before getting rid of the 8, I thought definitely I'm gonna get rid of the 8 and get the 7 Pro. So when it comes to this new device, there's been no official marketing other than this right here and this few things that OnePlus has put out, the CEO has put out on social media and on the forums and things like that, the OnePlus forums. If you're not in the OnePlus forums, you might want to create an account and go hang out over there. You might find some interesting things and news that go out there first. So if, with all that said, I think if you're looking for a OnePlus device, you're going to hit a roadblock because you're going to see that the 7T for $500 is still a fantastic. I mean, we're talking about Snapdragon 855 Plus, and then the 7 Pro has the 855, and then they've got tons of RAM, good memory options. This one is a limited memory option, but it's still a better option than tons of other devices on the market. But I think you're going to hit a roadblock because you're going to get ultimately the same performance from OnePlus, whether you have 6 gigs or 8 gigs or 12. In my experience, I've had all of those memory options, those RAM options, and the performance is, yeah, it might open something a little bit faster, but the performance day-to-day tasks are all the same. And I think that's what you're going to run into if you decide to pick up a current OnePlus device. But you're going to have to boil it down to now, why am I spending this much on the 8 Pro versus previous years or this new OnePlus Z or Light Z thing, whatever they're labeling it? You're going to have to ask yourself, is it genuinely worth spending money on their flagships, or should I get what OnePlus might call, when they're calling it a new beginning? I think they're basically just saying, we're going to go back to what we did best at the beginning. They're doing a giveaway of an original, the first OnePlus One. They're doing all these things that you kind of try to prepare you that they're probably going to bring out this OnePlus device and it's going to cost a heck of a lot less. Now, there are rumors out there that this device could be $300 or less or $400 or less. And I think that based on what I'm seeing, I think they're probably going to bring this device in at $399 as a direct competitor to Google, LG, Apple, all these in that price range. But the only issue I have with that is that if in fact it does have the Snapdragon 700 series, which is going to probably be that way because of the 5G, I was hoping that they went with the latest MediaTek processor. Believe it or not, that processor blows away a lot of the Snapdragon processors. And they can save on cost probably too, but I feel like them going with the 700 processor, they better bring it to the US because the US gets shortchanged on premium devices all the time and devices that cost less and you get more. We always get shortchanged on that, and that's evident when companies like Xiaomi and other Yumi Digi, these companies bring out great products. Huawei, they bring out all these great products that are stellar and much better than what the US currently offers, and they get side-changed and they get tossed to the side, and people never really know about them. Well, I'm hoping that the hardware on the OnePlus is on par with at least the 7 Pro or the 7T, and that the cameras are finally good, because OnePlus's downfall, in my experience, I see people doing videos on the OnePlus 8 devices. I'm thinking there's no way those photos were taken on the OnePlus 8, but maybe you edited them afterwards. I don't know, but you shouldn't have to edit a photo to get a good photo. And the photos that I've shot on this device and the 7T are fantastic, right out when just auto. And most of us, that's the way it should be. You shouldn't have to work to get a good photo in this day and age on a cell phone. It just shouldn't be that way. That's not what consumers want. And I don't think a lot of consumers would appreciate spending a ton of money on a device and then you have to work to get a good photo. So with OnePlus coming along with this new beginning, so they put it in this new device that's coming, let's hope that in fact they keep the price under $399, even if it's $379, The hardware is going to be probably really solid. The screen is going to probably have an in-screen fingerprint reader. It's probably going to have at least a 90 hertz refresh rate. And it's probably going to be good. Now, there are spots online where you can possibly go to see what could possibly be the OnePlus Z or the OnePlus Lite. But you have to kind of take that as, okay, this isn't real yet. But there's a place that I go to where predominantly their phones are right, but their pricing, like if something's coming out ahead of time, it's normally right on point, but it's called something else, and it's got a different name. The price isn't there. So here is a phone listed as the, see if I can get this in view here, the OnePlus 8 Lite, but this looks like what will probably be the OnePlus Z, and I'm hopeful that this is the device because it has one of that MediaTek processor inside, and it just is a fast processor. It blows a lot of the Snapdragon processors out of the water. So I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful that this is the new device. But if it's not, then oh well. But I feel like OnePlus can do wonders. They can do wonders if they price this device at $399 or below, and they also can grab a lot of people. Possibly, they can steal away some of Google's thunder. Now, the Pixel 3a XL to me is one of the best phones that you could possibly get your hands on. It is an absolute fantastic phone for photos. Video is good. Software, killer, obviously. And then you've got that great haptic feedback on the OnePlus, on the Pixel 3a and 3a XL. But the 3a XL in particular has killer battery, and it is just it's on the bigger side, but it has a 6-inch display. It's got, the top and bottom is a little bigger. However, the design is not bad to me. A lot of people say those phones are ugly on the back. All the Pixel phones are ugly. That's personal preference. Respect. If you think it's ugly, cool. But I think the Pixel 3a is probably going to be your best competitor since Google has decided to keep pushing back the 4a. Whatever OnePlus does, the 3a and the 3a XL are going to be the best competitors for that particular device, more than likely, just in price and then probably specs. But if they bring out this new OnePlus device with that new MediaTek processor, not only is it going to kill a lot of the Snapdragon 800 processors in performance, probably, it's going to really just slaughter all of the mid-range on down when it comes to performance. It's just going to do it. But I'm thinking, based on some of the other rumors that have come out where they're going to go ahead and go with the 700 series processor from Snapdragon, it's because of that 5G thing. That's fine. But I think that MediaTek processor can do 5G. I'm not an expert, so you do your own research. But whatever they do, OnePlus, I think they're headed in the right direction. And even though they still have never sent me a review unit or work with me in any kind of way, they've only reached out to me and emailed me just to try to correct me on something or explain their position. It's cool. I've said it a million times. I'll still buy your products because I'm a fair reviewer. And I actually like it. This is one of my daily drivers. And I have a couple of OnePlus devices, but I'm still going to maintain some level of integrity. I'm not going to sell out for OnePlus. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to sell out just to get a review unit. So don't send me one if you think I'm just going to say good things. But I'm hoping that this new OnePlus device really brings it home when it comes to performance, which I know it will, but cameras is the main thing that I'm hoping they really pay attention to, because right now as it sits, the 7T and the 7 Pro are my OnePlus devices that I go to, that I've gone to, and I've left behind those 8, and I have no interest at this point even buying the 8 Pro. Why? It's $1,000. Why would I do that? I don't trust that the cameras are going to be good. So that being said, the direction that OnePlus is going in, how do you guys feel about that? Do you think they're doing it right? Do you think that they're gonna shoot themselves in the foot by bringing this killer phone in the lower price range? Or do you think that it's gonna level out the playing field and now they're gonna start getting into every arena? You tell me. It's your man Jay. I hope you guys enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one. Let's fade to black.